Welcome to the Sci-Fi Continuum. I'm Stan, your narrator. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more stories. In the cold void of space, the warship KATU drifted silently, its hull shimmering against the distant backdrop of stars. Inside, the air hummed with anticipation as Commander Vinta stood before a holographic display, her brown eyes fixed on the intricate outlines of human anatomy. Her skin, a deep azure, glistened under the bioluminescent lights of the command room, casting a surreal glow that enhanced the beauty of her exotic features. Vinta's outfit was as bizarre as it was alluring. A strange, form-fitting garment made from a material that seemed to shift colors and patterns with her every movement. The outfit clung tightly to her curves, revealing just enough of her figure to intrigue and astonish. With long flowing sleeves and a high collar that framed her graceful neck, the attire hinted at her power while inviting curiosity. As she prepared for her next encounter, Vinta felt a familiar thrill. The thought of capturing a human man had begun an intergalactic war, and she had no intention of losing this battle. Meanwhile, on the surface of a nearby planet, Darren Moy, an adventurous spirit with a penchant for danger, scavenged through the remnants of an ancient spacecraft. His dark hair tousled by the wind, he chuckled to himself as he uncovered forgotten technology. For him, the thrill of the hunt was an intoxicating escape from the mundane realities of life on Earth, but that excitement was about to come to an abrupt end. Suddenly, a bright flash filled the air, and before he could react, an energy net ensnared him, crackling with energy. Darren struggled, but the force was too strong. As darkness enveloped him, the last thing he remembered was the sound of alien voices echoing in the distance. When he awoke, Darren found himself in a sterile, ethereal chamber aboard the KA-2. The room was alive with colors. Shifting murals adorned the walls, depicting the history of Vinta's people. Bioluminescent plants swayed gently, casting flickering shadows that danced around him. Confusion and a spark of fear gripped him as he took in his surroundings. "Welcome, human," a sultry voice echoed, pulling his attention to the entrance. There stood Vinta, her beauty both captivating and intimidating. "Who are you?" Darren managed to croak, instinctively backing away. "I am Commander Vinta of the KA-2, she declared, her tone firm yet playful. "You have been brought here for a very specific purpose." As she stepped closer, he could see the details of her outfit, each shift of color revealing glimpses of her skin underneath. Her brown eyes sparkled with mischief and determination. "You must inspect my body," she continued, her words hanging in the air between them, both ludicrous and alluring. Darren's heart raced. "Inspect your body? You must be joking." Vinta's gaze bore into him, unyielding. "You humans are strong, sophisticated, and elusive. I have captured many of your kind, yet they all manage to escape. You are different. You will stay with me, and I will learn what makes you tick." He couldn't help but feel a twinge of intrigue. The alien before him exuded power and allure, and there was something almost tragic in her eyes, an urgency that hinted at her loneliness in the galaxy. But instinct kicked in. Darren needed to escape. With a burst of energy, he darted past her, leaping over a bioluminescent vine. He navigated the room's bizarre layout, searching for a way out. Vinta was quick, though. Her agility was unexpected, and she easily intercepted him, blocking his path. "Do not resist," she commanded, her voice a blend of authority and seduction. "I am not your enemy. I seek understanding." Darren hesitated, caught off guard by her sincerity. The tension shifted, an unspoken connection forming as they stood face to face. She was unlike anyone he had ever met, so far from home yet so desperately seeking connection. "What do you want from me?" he asked, lowering his defenses just a fraction. "Understanding," Vinta replied, her voice softening. "Humans are so complex. I want to explore your emotions, your desires. To do that, I need your trust." "Trust?" Darren scoffed. "You've captured me." She stepped closer, her gaze unwavering. "Because I want to learn, not to harm. My people believe that understanding your kind could end the war. I can only do this if you cooperate." His heart raced, torn between fear and a budding curiosity. "What makes you think I'll stay?" Vinta smiled, a hint of mischief playing on her lips. "Because you will find that I am unlike any creature you have encountered before." Days morphed into a surreal blur as Darren remained confined. Vinta slowly unveiled her world. They engaged in conversations that explored the nature of their species, sharing tales of their homes, their cultures, and the loneliness that came with their respective existences. Darren learned that Vinta was once celebrated as a warrior, a fierce protector of her people, but the burden of war had left her isolated. In moments of vulnerability, Vinta would remove parts of her revealing outfit, exposing her vibrant blue skin that seemed to glow with her emotions. Each time she did, Darren felt a mixture of awe and desire, drawn to her strength yet captivated by her fragility. "Why do you really want to learn about humans?" Darren finally asked one evening as they sat on the floor of her chamber, surrounded by the soothing glow of the plants. Vinta's expression softened. "Because I am tired of being alone. My beauty is meaningless without someone to share it with. I want to understand what makes humans feel love, passion, desire." "I'm not just a study subject, Darren replied, feeling a spark of warmth in his chest. "I'm a person." "Then let me see you," she said, her voice a sultry whisper. "Let us explore each other, not as captor and captive, but as two beings seeking connection." A thrill shot through him, and he found himself nodding. In that moment, all barriers crumbled and a shared vulnerability enveloped them. As they moved closer, the air thickened with tension. Vinta leaned in, her warm breath grazing his skin, and he felt a jolt of electricity pass between them. Tentatively, he reached out, his fingers brushing against her scales, feeling the warmth radiating from her body. With a sudden surge of confidence, Darren pulled her closer, their lips meeting in a passionate kiss that ignited a fire within him. Vinta responded eagerly, her hands exploring the contours of his body, each touch sending ripples of pleasure coursing through them. Their connection deepened, a symphony of emotions and sensations that transcended the boundaries of their worlds. As their bodies entwined, Darren felt a sense of liberation, a union of two souls against the backdrop of an impending war. But as the night wore on, alarms blared through the KATU, shattering the moment. Darren jolted upright, panic flooding his senses. "What's happening?" "Humans are boarding the ship," Vinta exclaimed, urgency etching lines across her face. "We need to act fast." Without thinking, they sprang into action, working together to navigate the chaos. Darren found himself entranced by Vinta's prowess as she led the way, her movements fluid and decisive. They fought side by side, taking down guards and avoiding capture as they made their way through the maze-like corridors of the ship. With each confrontation, their bond grew stronger. Darren learned to trust Vinta, realizing that she was not just a commander but a warrior willing to fight for a chance at understanding. As they reached the hangar, the door slid open, revealing a sleek ship waiting for them. "Get in," Vinta shouted, her eyes fierce with determination. Darren didn't hesitate, scrambling into the pilot seat as Vinta slid in beside him. He punched in coordinates for the nearest neutral planet, and as the engines roared to life, they rocketed away from the KATU, leaving the chaos behind. Breathless, they emerged into the tranquility of space, stars twinkling around them like scattered diamonds. "We did it," Darren exclaimed, exhilarated. Vinta smiled, a mixture of relief and joy in her expression. "Now we can find a way to end the war." As they traveled together, a new alliance began to form, not just between their worlds but between their hearts. They shared dreams, hopes, and desires, their bond deepening with each passing moment. "I never thought I'd find peace like this," Darren confessed one evening, gazing at the starlit expanse outside the ship's viewport. Vinta turned to him, her eyes sparkling with emotion. "You have taught me so much about love and connection. I only hope to return the favor." They knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but as long as they stood together, they believed they could forge a new future, one filled with understanding, acceptance, and a love that transcended the stars. And as they ventured toward the unknown, their hearts were united in a shared purpose, ready to confront the complexities of both their worlds. Darren looked at Vinta, her beauty illuminated by the soft glow of the control panel, and felt a surge of determination. With the KETU left behind, Darren piloted the ship through the vastness of space, charting a course for a neutral planet known as Girth. This world, renowned for its lush forests and vibrant landscapes, served as a haven for beings from all corners of the galaxy. Here, they hoped to find refuge and negotiate a peace treaty that could end the senseless war. "Girth is a place of healing," Vinta said, her voice steady and reassuring. "The inhabitants are wise. They understand the value of connection. If anyone can help us, it is them." Darren nodded, feeling a spark of hope. The journey to Girth was not just about survival. It was about building a new alliance and understanding between their species. With Vinta by his side, he felt a newfound confidence that hadn't been there before. As they neared Girth, the ship's systems hummed with life. The green and blue hues of the planet's surface came into view, its forests swaying gently beneath the warm light of twin suns. The sight was breathtaking, a stark contrast to the dark void of space. "We'll land near the capital," Vinta suggested, her excitement palpable. "We can seek the counsel of the elders." With deft hands, Darren navigated the landing sequence, feeling a mix of anxiety and exhilaration. As the ship touched down, the vibrations reverberated through them both, a tangible reminder of the journey they had undertaken together. Stepping off the ship, Darren was immediately struck by the beauty of Girth. Lush greenery surrounded them, vibrant flowers blooming in kaleidoscopic colors. The air was rich with the scent of earth and life, a stark contrast to the sterile environment of the Katu. Vinta took his hand, her fingers cool against his warm skin. "Stay close," she urged, leading him through the thick foliage toward the capital. As they approached Valera, the architecture was unlike anything Darren had seen before. Elegant structures woven seamlessly into the trees, with bridges connecting them high above the ground. The inhabitants, ethereal beings with iridescent skin, moved gracefully, their laughter echoing through the air. "Look," Darren exclaimed, pointing to a group of Girthans who danced in a clearing, their movements fluid and mesmerizing. "Dance is their language," Vinta explained, a smile gracing her lips. "It is how they express emotion and connection." As they entered the city, they were greeted by a group of elders, wise and ancient beings whose eyes sparkled with knowledge. Vinta stepped forward, her posture proud yet humble. "Elders of Girth, I seek your counsel," she said, her voice carrying authority. "My people are at war with the humans. I wish to forge a path to peace, and I bring with me a human who desires the same." Darren stepped beside her, his heart pounding. "I'm here to help. We can find a way to end this conflict." The elders regarded them with solemnity, their eyes searching. "Peace is a fragile thing," one elder spoke, her voice soft but firm. "What you propose requires trust, understanding, and a willingness to look beyond your differences." "We understand," Vinta replied, her conviction evident. "I have learned that our worlds are not so different. We all desire connection, yet fear drives us apart." The elders nodded, their expressions thoughtful. "Very well," the elder continued. "We will hold a gathering where your words can be heard. But be warned, words alone cannot mend what has been broken." The next day, preparations for the gathering began. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over Valera, beings from various planets began to arrive. Diplomats, warriors, and curious onlookers, all eager to witness this unprecedented event. Darren and Vinta stood together at the center of the grand clearing, surrounded by the elders and a myriad of diverse species. The air buzzed with anticipation, the tension palpable as the gathering commenced. Vinta spoke first, her voice strong and resonant. "I stand here not just as a commander, but as a being seeking understanding. I have captured a human, but in that act, I discovered a deep desire for connection." Darren felt a warmth swell in his chest as he watched Vinta's confidence. He stepped forward, taking a deep breath. "I may be a human, but I am more than just a subject of study. I am a person with hopes, fears, and dreams. We can't let fear dictate our actions any longer. We must learn from each other, not fight." The crowd listened intently, their expression shifting from skepticism to intrigue. As the night wore on, beings from different planets shared their own stories, tales of conflict, love, loss, and ultimately, the pursuit of understanding. The exchange ignited something within Darren. He felt a deep connection to these stories, a recognition of shared struggles that transcended their species. Vinta stood beside him, her presence a comforting reminder that they were united in this quest. Just as the gathering reached a moment of collective understanding, a commotion erupted at the edge of the clearing. A group of armed Girthans, furious and mistrustful, confronted Vinta and Darren, accusing them of deception and betrayal. "Your words are empty," one shouted. "You are still a commander of a warring race." Darren stepped forward, heart racing. "We want peace. Please listen to us." Vinta held her ground, her eyes fierce. "We have come here to learn, to connect. This conflict serves no one." But the tension escalated as the armed Girthans moved closer, their weapons drawn. Darren and Vinta exchanged glances, fear flashing between them. "Stay back," Darren shouted, raising his hands. "We're not your enemies." Suddenly, one of the Girthans lunged forward, and in a split second, Darren moved to protect Vinta. The two collided, and the situation spiraled into chaos. In the heat of the moment, Vinta's instincts kicked in. She stepped between Darren and the aggressors, her gaze unwavering. Enough, she commanded, her voice booming across the clearing. The crowd fell silent, all eyes on her. I will not let fear dictate our fate. If you want to fight, you will have to fight me. But I urge you to consider, violence will not bring us closer. As her words hung in the air, a tense silence followed. Slowly, the Girthans lowered their weapons, uncertainty flickering in their eyes. In that moment of vulnerability, Darren and Vinta stood united, a symbol of hope amid chaos. The gathering shifted as beings began to speak, some with hesitance, others with newfound determination. Darren took a deep breath, stepping closer to Vinta. We are here to learn from each other, to heal. Let us share our stories, our cultures. Let us explore our differences and find common ground. Vinta nodded, her brown eyes sparkling with resolve. Together, we can redefine our relationship. We are not just warriors. We are beings capable of love and understanding. Gradually, the tension in the air dissipated, and discussions erupted among the crowd. Beings from different worlds began to share their perspectives, revealing their own struggles with fear, war, and longing for connection. Darren and Vinta moved through the gathering, encouraging dialogue, listening intently to the stories that unfolded. With every tale, they felt a sense of unity grow stronger, a bond forged in the understanding that they were not alone in their struggles. As dawn broke over Valera, a sense of hope blossomed. The gathering had transformed from a potential confrontation into a celebration of diversity. With the elders' guidance, they crafted a pact, a mutual understanding to explore peace through cultural exchange, dialogue, and cooperation. The war that had raged across the stars could begin to dissolve, replaced by a newfound alliance. Darren looked at Vinta, her eyes reflecting morning light. We did it, he breathed, his heart swelling with pride. Yes, she replied, a smile breaking across her face. Together, we have begun to bridge the divide. In the days that followed, they embarked on a journey of exploration, sharing knowledge and experiences between their worlds. As Darren and Vinta delved deeper into each other's cultures, their bond solidified, evolving into a profound love that transcended the boundaries of species. One evening, as they stood beneath the twin suns of Girth, watching the colors of the sky shift in breathtaking patterns, Vinta took Darren's hand. I never imagined I would find someone who understands me like this, she whispered. Darren squeezed her hand, his heart full. Neither did I. You've shown me that there's so much more to life than conflict. We can create a future built on understanding. Vinta leaned in, their lips meeting in a gentle kiss, a promise of a shared destiny. As they pulled away, the warmth of their connection radiated between them, a testament to the power of love and understanding. Years passed, and the peace forged on Girth blossomed into a lasting legacy. Darren and Vinta became ambassadors of their respective worlds, traveling across the galaxy to share their story. A tale of love, connection, and the courage to embrace differences. They watched as beings of all shapes and colors gathered to celebrate their shared humanity, their stories interwoven in a tapestry of understanding. The war that had once threatened to tear their worlds apart faded into memory, replaced by a hopeful future where connection reigned. As they stood hand in hand, surrounded by the beauty of Girth, Darren realized that their journey had only just begun. Together, they would continue to explore the mysteries of the universe, forging bonds with new worlds and ensuring that the lessons they had learned would echo through the stars. In the end, Darren and Vinta discovered that love knows no boundaries. It transcends the galaxies, reminding them that beneath their differences, they were united in their shared quest for connection.